Alright, so here is Act 2. Last time we got to enjoy some art. Now who knows what's in store? Attention, Lula Chamberlain. Read your application. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture's annual fellowship. We received a record number of applications this year, over 100 in total, and regrettably we can award only one fellowship position per year. As you know, our review process includes a multi-phase blind committee analysis of portfolio submissions, as well as a careful review by a panel of subject matter experts on each applicant's notability and relevance in the field. We must be extremely selective in our process so as to maintain the standards we have established over our 35 years in operation. Our panel did not select your application. We encourage you to consider reapplying next year. Many young artists and architects reapply for a few successive years before being accepted. Young artists. Sincerely, Dr. Carl Stone Norden, Architect, Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture. Below the printed text is a hastily handwritten note. Sorry for the condescending form letter. Love your work. Unfortunately, I just do the mail here. Your obedient servant, Robert. Ooh. So this is the artist from last time. I noticed that it said young artists, and she's been working since I think it was the 60s and 70s. So that is absolutely rough. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Interesting. Proposal number 1. Site, hospital. Proposed use, auto dealership. Proposal 2. Site, distillery. Proposed use, graveyard. And proposal 3. Site, basketball court. Proposed use, kennel. Proposal 2. Distillery still active, but scaling down operations to less than half of site. Distillery built on top graveyard originally. Hybrid distillery / graveyard could share resources. Chapel once repurposed into bottling facility could be repurposed into chapel. Alright, proposal 1. Hospital closed due to repeated sanitation violations. Auto dealership sanitation requirements comparatively lax. Small operating rooms could be repurposed into offices. Large cubicle-style administrative offices could be repurposed into showrooms. Sure. I'm anti-zoning. Oh, God. Carrington clears his throat. Busy? Lula, it's not important. I doubt that. You do important work here now. Maybe it's not sublime art, but it's... Do you know the famous dramatist who visited Mexico and said, "Here there is no art, things are made for use"? You've been to Mexico. You've seen the murals. You know all about that. So, my own thoughts are wandering clearly. I've got a lot on my mind, clearly. Well, I'll come straight to it then. The clerk upstairs tells me you've been assigned to my proposal. I've heard nothing in weeks, and I assumed it had been swallowed up by some dragon of administration, but... Lula, my situation is desperate. I have hours. I must find a suitable venue for my play in time for its sunrise debut, or the last decade of my life will have been a vision within a dream, a fragment. Uh, I haven't had a chance to review it, to be honest. I see. Of course, you're quite busy. I understand completely. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Lula. I'll go now. Oh, Lula, I thought you might like to know. I saw Joseph this evening just after sunset. We sat for a bit, drank some cold coffee, and talked about university days. Better days. Maybe for him. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Beautiful. Homer. Get a good rest in the truck? Yeah, I know you love a drive. The wind in your ears. Yeah, I saw you back there, Homer. You're right. Didn't we just pass this place? I don't think the Zero operates like the roads we're used to. I don't understand it either. So, what is this place? What do you think? When I got my electrician's license, I had to go to this government building in Frankfurt. Kind of low to the ground, a bit older. Didn't really look the same as this place, I guess, but they all have that same feel. Bureaucracy in there. Too much concrete. This is weird, but do you think we're inside or outside right now? Both. Ha, okay. Very poetic. Well, maybe someone around here has a better sense of direction. Oh boy. End of the line. Maybe still under construction. Well, work seems to have stopped for the moment. I want to be optimistic. Alas, can't use the fishing rod. Oh. Okay. I love the look of it. Marianne, nice name. Well, here you are. Better late than never, I guess. Just unload the whiskey over there by the elevator. I'll figure something out. Want to settle a bet? I'm actually pretty busy, but sure, what's up? Can you both be inside and outside at the same time? Wow, okay. Is that like a philosophy thing? Or are you just lost? We're just lost. You're lost, so you're not the... Sorry, honest mistake. We're supposed to have a little celebration here at the office, but the whiskey never showed up. I saw your truck and thought... But you don't really look like one of the boys from the distillery anyway. What do the boys from the distillery look like? You never seen the boys from Hard Times? Well, count your blessings. They cut a grim profile. Well, it's clear you're new to this territory. I expect you just mean to be passing through. We're looking for Dogwood Drive. Do you know where that is? Dogwood. Nope. You're gonna need to talk to someone upstairs about that. One of the map clerks. But first we've got to get you in the system. So you'll need an appointment with one of the ingestion clerks. let's see. Rick is booked proofreading drafts all afternoon, and Wanda's out on a site. Let me go make some calls and see if we have anyone free. There's some books over there in the waiting area. Or just take a look around. Have you seen our grotesques? Grotesques? Television is playing what looks like a nature documentary. The hermit crab scuttles across a beach. Its shell is an awkward shape. It must have once belonged to a different crab. Three books are piled on the table. A service manual for a sewage pump, some architectural plans for a bungalow, and a slim collection of Japanese death haiku. An envelope is protruding from the bottom of the stack. The envelope reads Bureau of Secret Tourism. It contains several small, handwritten brochures with ritualistic directions to bizarre locations. I wouldn't give for that envelope. Lula. Sorry I hustled over there. I was worried that you could only do one or the other, so I wanted to go look at the Bureau of Secret Tourism before I found anything else. The television is playing a silent video of an empty theater. The microphone sits in the middle of the stage. The lights are slightly dim. The speakers hum impatiently. Speaking of which... sounds almost like rain. Not detecting a difference. The television is playing a closed-circuit security feed of a housing project. The feed switches mechanically between locations. A hallway, a disused plot of grass, a stairwell, a mailbox. The television is playing instructional video on elevator design. It is crucial to maintain proper lighting in an elevator. In the absence of sight, passengers' sense of motion is greatly enhanced. The passengers should never feel as though they are physically ascending or descending. The elevator should create the illusion that the building is flat. That is the mark of a successful elevator design. I do like these. Television is playing a cartoon about a bird. The cartoon bird collects pieces for its nest. A scarf, a plastic shopping bag, a bit of a young girl's hair. The nest is warm, but precariously fragile. Okay, I think that's everything. Well, good. I thought you'd left. People can be so impatient. You never know. Well, I have you meeting with Lula Chamberlain. She's a senior clerk and doesn't usually handle the ingestion process, but she's the only one with room on her plate this evening. My schedule says she's on the 5th floor, reviewing some diagrams. The elevator is just back to the left there. 5th floor. Thank you very much. Don't mind as I wobble limp away. The 5th floor, you say? She's on the 5th floor, right? Alright, so I'm gonna play it gamefully. So 5th floor, diagrams and drafts. Love the bears floor. And stalactites. So whether we're inside or outside, we're certainly subterranean. Oh god. Greg is hard at work examining some diagrams, measuring angles with a plastic protractor and occasionally scribbling numbers in a small leather notebook. Can I help you? Don't answer that. Are you Lula Chamberlain? No. You just missed her, actually. She was up here about an hour ago. She's probably back at her real desk now, on the 1st floor. She barely made a dent in these diagrams. Must have been distracted. Speaking of which... I'm gonna save you, buddy. You are welcome. Okay, her office is down on the 1st floor. Hello, are you lost? Well, yeah. I think there's a bit where you keep going between floors if you don't quite ask the right... if you don't have quite the right response. And that can be fun, but I'm just gonna keep going. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh no, she's much too busy. Let's get some of our junior clerks to sort your paperwork first, so we don't waste any of Ms. Chamberlain's time. It's a pretty straightforward process. First, you'll need to get a case number assigned. Talk to Clerk Metzstein about that. She's just over there at the end of the room. Happy to help. Okay. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. I just need your ingestion card and a list of your last 5 permanent addresses. Ingestion card? Oh, no ingestion card. Okay, that's okay. Just go talk to Clerk Burm first, and he'll get you set up with one. Clerk Burm is just over there in the corner. Happy to help. Howdy. Here for an ingestion card? No problem. He rummages through some papers on his desk. Happy to help. He opens a few folders and quickly closes them. Looks like I'm out, but I know that there's some back in the archive. You have to put in a special request with Clerk Macmillan. She's the documents czar. Straight back at the end of the office there, by the file cabinets. Okay. Documents request. One ingestion card, please. Happy to help. Please just put your requisition form in the inbox and I'll get to it as soon as possible. Requisition form? Yes. You don't have one? Shouldn't be a problem. They're quite easy to fill out. Just ask Clerk Metzstein and she'll get you sorted. feel the weariness. Requisition form, no problem. I'll just need your ingestion card to mark it outgoing in my logbook. I don't have an ingestion card yet. Oh, no ingestion card. Okay, that's okay. Just go talk to Clerk Burnham first, and he'll get you set up with one. Okay, I'll try one more, and then we'll get to our lives. Alright. This is just a run around. Where's Lula Chamberlain? Oh, no, that's her right there in the cardigan. Beautiful. Having fun in the paperclip labyrinth? Well, you made it eventually. You look exhausted. I'd offer you my seat, but my ankles are turning on me. Arthritis? Dr. Truman says my joints are eroding one another. They've been collaborating for decades. It's only natural they want to kill each other now. Well, enough about my hateful wrists and ankles. This concrete bunker of an office is just a waypoint for you, I'm sure. Where is it that you're trying to go? We're looking for 5 Dogwood Drive. Dogwood Drive. That's funny. Do you know I used to live on a Dogwood Drive? This was years ago. Grimy old house, basement full of insects, attic full of birds. I had a few roommates. We all worked at the university. I had a dog. I drank whiskey and beer and made sculptures. But that Dogwood was a surface road. With a name like that, it would have to be. What are you doing on the Zero? I wonder if she knows Weaver. My cousin, Weaver, sent us this way. Your cousin? Weaver? Weaver Marquez? I hadn't expected to hear from her again. Ooh. Do you know her? She came through here as an intern. One of my old colleagues must have referred her. Do you know? I never asked. Anyway, there's not much challenging work here, much less for a gifted mathematician. She helped translate some notes on architectural plans I picked up in Mexico. She was very bored. We used to sit on the steps by the river on our lunch break and talk about geometry. I hope she wasn't in trouble. I lost touch with her so suddenly. I had recommended her she go see some old friends of mine at the university about a new acoustic surveying venture. I often worry she became wrapped up in some tenured professor's quixotic research project. You know the type. Gray-haired, intellectual, narcissistic. Well, that is... I guess she sent you here because she respected me, thought I could help. Weaver is a dear girl, but I'm afraid you've been misled. Excuse me. Who? Politic. But where's the Dogwood Drive you lived on? Maybe it's the same one. No, it's not possible. The Dogwood Drive I lived on is now called Pale Dogwood Drive. They've renamed all the streets, you see. Too many streets with the same names. It was never a problem before, but now we have these databases, and it's all too confusing for the computer. The computer has no sense of ambiguity, so it proclaims an error. Name collisions, they call them. So my Dogwood Drive is Pale Dogwood Drive, and another might be Large Leaf Dogwood Drive, or Himalayan Flowering Dogwood Drive, and so on. But one of them is still just Dogwood Drive, or so we might hope. It's really a matter of consulting records, of which we have an abundance here. Do you have a record of those streets? I expect we must. They'll be up in Archives and Records, 4th floor. It'll be filed under O for odonyms, probably, or G for generic, or maybe S for specific, depending on which part of the street name was changed. Alas, Lula would not help us. Alright, 4th floor. I mean, if you have space, wouldn't you just fill it with bears? An extra floor in your building. Gotta fill it with something. Ooh, I like these bears. Keep an eye out on the place. Oh, wow. You know what's funny? I remembered this. I didn't remember the organ. I don't think we can go over here, can we? Yeah. Alright. Must be lonely up there. Anything else over here? Doesn't look at it. Alright. Never liked those shoebox style document containers. Damn, this place is a mess. Okay. Take a look through that logbook, I guess? Or maybe there's some kind of system to all these boxes. I'll just start digging. The small logbook has a smart leather cover. A few notes are scribbled on the inside covers. Most pages are just lists of titles, names, and dates. Document staff, please do not transfer any more records from the storage unit until we get the new file cabinets in. We're up to F, and that will have to do for now. Instruct clerks to focus on activities beginning with the letters A, B, C, D, E, or F, or activities most likely to involve research on subjects beginning with those letters. For example, cars is okay because it involves automotive, driving, brakes, etc. But air quality is not okay because it relates to health, safety, pollution, etc. I love that. Whoa. Failing antique shops folder missing? Listed checked in on page 63, but not present. Page 1. Several documents relating to sporting competition venues were quickly checked out and back in over a period of a few days. Basketball courts, baseball fields, alleys, and parking lots. Page 14. A single set of documents relating to coal mining operations was checked out and back in by several different people within a few hours. Interesting. Page 63. Check-in. Failing antique shops. Monday 3 p.m. Signee Ed Byrne. Interesting. So we need to kill Byrne. Nothing? Me neither. Half of these boxes aren't even labeled, and the rest are all from the first few letters of the alphabet. I couldn't find anything with an O or a G or an S. Maybe that clerk knows somewhere else we can look. Imagine if this was just the entire game. There's Lula. I thought one of these was Byrne. Oh well. Nothing? That's unfortunate. Well, they must still be in transit. You see, we've only moved into this new venue somewhat recently, and it's all a bit in progress. There was a cathedral not so long ago. Can you believe it? Yeah, I can. There's a gigantic organ. And then the Bureau reclaimed it. The old congregation has been directed to one of our storage facilities for their activity. That's where you'll find the street name records, I expect. At the church. Marianne at reception can give you directions. Just come back here when you have the files, and we'll begin the necessary paperwork to have the information analyzed. Oh, and while you're out on the road, you might want to stop and see Dr. Truman about your leg. He's a specialist regarding ailments of the joints and limbs, and I know he works at night. His home office is in a small neighborhood on the east edge of Bowling Green. Here's his card. Do stop and see him. That leg is a miserable sight. Take care of each other. Just a bunch of people silently turning and watching us move about. I accept the leg wound. I do... Like, I understand that it's interesting to have it affect gameplay and that you move very slow, but it's also annoying to move really slow. I'm just doing a last sweep and then we will head out of here. Sir, how are you not insane? Having that repeat on me for so long would probably break me. That's your last reprieve, sir. I'm just a little surprised because it said go see Byrne, and we just talked with Lula instead. I don't know if I missed the prompt because I don't remember which one Byrne is. I thought it. Well, I don't know. Perhaps we graduated the paperclip labyrinth, so we didn't. We just went straight to the Lula source. Well, it's interesting. We met Lula Chamberlain. She's not amazing. She certainly thinks of herself a bit highly. Marianne. Get what you need? Huh. Be straight with me. What is this place? Just another office, lady. Just another job. But you kicked out a congregation to set up your office? I wasn't here for that, but yeah, I get where you're coming from. Still, I wouldn't judge until I'd seen everything. They've got a new church now. The Bureau set it up for them out of some of their old storage space. I'm sure it's very nice. Go see it for yourself. Just get back on the zero and drive until you hit the crystal. Then turn around. It'll make sense once you get on the road. You can handle it. And that's all we get. Alrighty. They head back into the night. Beautiful. Now we get to see what the zero is like. The jaws. Interesting. I want to keep exploring. What is this? Hey, you're looking kind of tired there, old man. Want me to take the wheel for a bit? Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Oh. Okay. Okay, so now I see what that is. That's if you don't want to mess around with the zero. Okay, apologies. And that's why you should never click on anything. I don't think it changes unless it has that rotate prompt. Oh, okay. So it does. Nice. Scary. Something. The gallery. The brochure describes this place as a gallery of mislaid futures abandoned on lonely highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. It is a large warehouse full of oddly shaped vehicles, blimp-like, rusted vessels, mostly painted in a dull green that has now faded towards brown. No path has been carved to navigate between them, and many have been damaged enough to leave menacing bits of metal running jaggedly through their small open spaces. It's all a visitor can do to stand at the edge of the building, neck craned, trying to get a glimpse of something. Beautiful. Beware a highway culture. Great. Alright, self-storage. St. Thomas Church. My parents went to a church of St. Thomas. They had a Holy Crab Festival. What a great name. The deacon hated it, of course, because the deacon was no fun. And that is where I'm going to leave it for now. So I hope you all enjoyed. Random access self-storage. Beautiful. It is just an interesting game. I might do a little research next time to see what else I can find in the Zero, because I don't want to, go too far and suddenly lose the opportunity to explore and show other things that are around. So I'll do that between now and next time. Have a good evening.